Massive debt led to the announcement today from Blockbuster Video.
At this Easttown store, it just could not survive.
Icon calls Blockbuster the worst investment he's ever made.
There was a time when Blockbuster was on nearly every corner, a beacon for movie lovers everywhere. Its iconic blue and yellow logo symbolized entertainment and endless possibilities for a perfect movie night. But how did such a giant fall so quickly from its throne? Join us as we uncover the untold story of what really happened to Blockbuster. In the mid-1980s, a new chapter in home entertainment began to unfold with the birth of Blockbuster Video.
It's really amazing that people had to go through so much just to get a movie.
The journey started in 1978 with Cook Data Services, founded by David Cook, who aimed to provide software services to Texas's oil and gas industries. However, this venture yielded a different success than he had hoped for. Inspired by his wife Sandy's interest in the growing video market, David pivoted his focus. After selling a subsidiary of his company, he invested in a video store franchise called VideoWorks in Dallas. However, when the franchise rejected his idea for a distinctive blue and yellow decor, David decided to go it alone. On October the 19th of 1985, he opened the first Blockbuster video store in Dallas, Texas, boasting an impressive inventory of 8,000 VHS and 2,000 beta tapes. The name Blockbuster was a nod to Hollywood's term for a smash hit, and it perfectly encapsulated the chain's ambition to become a giant in the video rental industry. Leveraging his database management background, Cook innovated how video stores operated, introducing customized inventory based on local demographics. With the initial success of the Dallas store, Cook quickly recognized the potential for expansion. He invested in a $6 million warehouse in Garland, Texas, allowing for rapid growth and new stores opening. Blockbuster's strategic approach to tailoring inventory for each neighborhood helped solidify its position as a leader in the video rental market, transforming how families experience movies at home and paving the way for a cultural phenomenon that would dominate the entertainment landscape for years to come. As the 1980s ended, what strategic move would Blockbuster undertake to secure a strong foothold in the upcoming decade? In 1987, Wayne Huizenga, co-founder of Waste Management, took a bold step into the entertainment world by acquiring several Blockbuster stores.
Walked into Blockbuster, wow, this is something else, big story, and wow, this is completely different. And so,
fueled by his ambition, Huizenga launched an aggressive expansion strategy that transformed the company. When he entered the Blockbuster scene, it boasted just 19 locations. However, by the end of 1988, thanks to Huizenga's relentless drive, Blockbuster exploded to a staggering 400 stores, reshaping the landscape of home entertainment. As the 1990s rolled in, Blockbuster's appeal surged. The Blockbuster didn't just stop at a single store, it embarked on an aggressive expansion strategy, franchising locations across Europe, Asia, and Australia. Blockbuster became a household name, capturing a significant share of the global video market. This explosive growth was fueled by clever marketing campaigns and the iconic blue and yellow branding that etched itself into the public consciousness. The experience of visiting Blockbuster became a cherished weekend ritual for many families. The excitement of browsing aisles lined with neatly arranged VHS tapes and scanning covers for the next family movie night was unparalleled. The thrill didn't just end with the rental, it extended to the social aspect as friends would gather to share opinions on the latest releases. Blockbuster was more than just a store. It was a sensation that brought people together through the magic of cinema. In its quest for dominance, Blockbuster negotiated lucrative deals with Hollywood studios, ensuring that its shelves were stocked with the latest blockbusters. This enriched its inventory and positioned the company as a key player in the film industry. However, introducing late fees became a double-edged sword, serving as a significant revenue stream while frustrating many customers. By the late 90s, Blockbuster was riding high, marking its peak as a cultural phenomenon. With an impressive network of over 9,000 stores across the globe, the company boasted a staggering 65 million registered customers and soared to a remarkable valuation of $3 billion. It was a time when Friday nights revolved around picking the perfect movie from the bright blue and yellow aisles, solidifying Blockbuster's place in the hearts of millions. Next, let's explore how this retail giant responded to the surge of the digital revolution. In the late 90s and early 2000s, Blockbuster was a titan in the video rental industry, boasting over 9,000 stores and dominating the market. However, as the internet began to weave itself into the fabric of everyday life, a digital threat emerged, signaling the start of Blockbuster's decline. Online rental services were reshaping the landscape, allowing customers the luxury of renting movies from the comfort of their homes. No trips to the video store required. At the forefront of this revolution was Netflix, founded in 1997 by Reed Hastings and Mark Randolph. Netflix introduced a groundbreaking model, a flat monthly fee that eliminated late charges, which had long been a thorn in the side of renters. Customers could browse a vast selection of DVDs online, have them delivered directly to their mailboxes, and simply return them by dropping them in the post when finished. This convenience and accessibility captivated audiences, shifting their preferences away from brick-and-mortar rental stores. Blockbuster, unfortunately, did little to adapt to this seismic shift. Rather than embracing the changing landscape, it clung to its traditional business model, missing several crucial opportunities for innovation. Blockbuster introduced the Total Access program in 2006 to revive its dwindling customer base, allowing customers to return their rentals at physical stores for an additional free rental. While this initiative initially appeared successful, it came at a steep price. Blockbuster lost $2 for every DVD exchanged through the program, which only added to the growing financial strain on the company. In a desperate bid to compete with Netflix and regain lost customers, Blockbuster ultimately eliminated late fees. This revenue source accounted for an astonishing 16% of its income. Then CEO John Antioco estimated that this decision would cost the company $200 million, compounded by the additional $200 million spent on launching Blockbuster online. Unfortunately, this move proved ineffective, as customers began to exploit the lack of late fees by keeping movies for longer periods, leading to stock shortages and further complications for the chain. Ultimately, Blockbuster's failure to adapt to the digital age and its mismanagement of resources set the stage for its downfall. As Netflix and other online competitors flourished, Blockbuster's legacy as a once dominant force in the video rental industry began to fade into obscurity. In 1994, the entertainment landscape shifted dramatically when Viacom, a powerhouse in cable and media, acquired Blockbuster for a staggering $8.4 billion. This acquisition was a bold move to create a formidable conglomerate, combining Viacom's expansive media reach with Blockbuster's vast rental network. However, the synergies that both companies envisioned would ultimately falter, leading to missteps that contributed to Blockbuster's decline. The journey to this merger began in September of 1993 when Blockbuster proposed a $4.7 billion merger with Viacom amidst a fierce bidding war for Paramount Communications with Quality Value Convenience, or QVC. Blockbuster, eager to bolster its media initiatives and seize new opportunities, heavily invested in Viacom to sweeten its bid. However, this prolonged takeover battle drained resources and led to stalled talks, causing stock prices for both companies to plummet. Ultimately, Viacom emerged victorious, purchasing Blockbuster and marking the start of a tumultuous chapter in both companies' histories. Upon acquisition, Viacom initiated an executive shakeup at Blockbuster, resulting in a rapid leadership turnover. Founder Wayne Huizenga stepped down in September of 1994, replaced by President Stephen Berard. Berard's tenure was short-lived, lasting just a year and a half, as Blockbuster's leadership grappled with a pressing need to adapt to a rapidly changing market. The traditional rental model faced intense pressure from the burgeoning sales of DVDs and the emergence of digital alternatives, such as video on demand and personal video recorders. As Viacom focused heavily on its cable and media assets, owning networks like CBS and MTV, it struggled to integrate Blockbuster into its broader vision fully. The company's prioritization of cable television left Blockbuster adrift, unable to pivot effectively towards the digital revolution. Although Blockbuster made some attempts to adapt, introducing DVDs into its inventory, it could not keep pace with the competition from big box retailers that offered DVDs at discounted prices. This strategic oversight ultimately hampered Blockbuster's growth and relevance in a transforming industry. By the early 2000s, Viacom began reassessing its stake in Blockbuster, signaling potential divestiture plans. In early 2003, executives announced intention for a tax-free split-off to exchange Viacom shares for Blockbuster shares. However, this plan remained contingent on market conditions and board approvals, illustrating the uncertainty surrounding Blockbuster's future. The announcement coincided with disappointing financial reports, revealing a 7% decline in same-store revenues due to an overall slowdown in the movie rental market. Sumner Redstone, Viacom's chairman and CEO, addressed investors, emphasizing the evolving landscape of the entertainment industry and Blockbuster's struggles to align with Viacom's core focus. Despite believing in Blockbuster's long-term prospects, he acknowledged the need for strategic reevaluation. The latter's struggles became increasingly apparent as Viacom grappled with integrating Blockbuster into its broader media empire. The once dominant retail chain, which had flourished during the VHS boom, found itself outpaced by competitors who embraced the digital wave. Blockbuster's fate is a cautionary tale of how misaligned corporate visions and failure to adapt can lead even the mightiest companies to decline. Yet, that wasn't the only expensive blunder in Blockbuster's history. The story of Blockbuster is a stark reminder of how giants can fall when they fail to adapt to a rapidly changing landscape. Blockbuster's reluctance to embrace change ultimately sealed its fate, leading to its decline. Among the most significant missed opportunities was the chance to acquire Netflix in 2000 for a mere $50 million, a decision that would haunt the company for years. In 2000, Blockbuster was riding high, boasting $6 billion in revenue with over 6,000 stores and 60,000 employees. It was a behemoth in the rental market, while Netflix was just an upstart with a fledgling online rental service. When Reed Hastings and Mark Randolph pitched their idea to Blockbuster executives, they were met with skepticism and dismissive laughter. The Blockbuster team, clad in expensive suits, couldn't envision a future where a small digital competitor would threaten their brick-and-mortar model. Despite the early warning signs, Blockbuster remained entrenched in its traditional business approach. While other industries rapidly adapted to the internet age, Blockbuster clung to its physical stores, underestimating the threat of online rentals and digital streaming. Their reluctance to invest in emerging technologies or even consider a partnership with Netflix was a critical misstep. Randolph vividly recalls the moment they were turned down, feeling the weight of disbelief as they flew home on a private jet owned by Vanna White, reflecting on the closed door that could have opened a new chapter for both companies. Blockbuster's refusal to disrupt itself exemplifies a broader issue that many companies face: the difficulty of letting go of a successful business model, even when the signs of change are clear.
Blockbuster has closed more than 1,000 stores in the last 2 years.
Maintaining extensive physical stores became increasingly costly as consumer behavior shifted towards convenience and digital access. The company failed to innovate and neglected to address the changing preferences of its customer base, who began to favor the flexibility of online streaming over the hassle of rental returns and late fees. As the years passed, Netflix refined its business model, transitioning from DVD rentals to a streaming platform that revolutionized the entertainment industry. On the other hand, Blockbuster struggled to compete in a world that had shifted beneath its feet. It was too late when it finally attempted to launch its streaming service in 2004. The market was already saturated with competitors who had learned from Blockbuster's mistakes. In hindsight, Blockbuster's downfall was not solely due to Netflix's rise, but rather a combination of missed opportunities and a failure to adapt. Let's look at what the key players say about Blockbuster's downfall. Despite commanding a prominent place in American culture throughout the 1990s and early 2000s, Blockbuster struggled financially for much of its existence, with a troubling pattern of profitability. Between 1996 and 2010, Blockbuster managed to record profits in only 2 of those years. This raises important questions about the viability of its business model long before emerging competitors hastened its decline. Blockbuster's leadership struggles compounded its financial woes. Activist investor Carl Icahn, who held a position on Blockbuster's board, was a vocal opponent of the company's efforts to transition into online rentals. He preferred that Blockbuster remain steadfast in its brick-and-mortar operations. This led to a significant boardroom shakeup. Icahn orchestrated the ouster of CEO John Antioco in 2007, a decision that would have lasting repercussions for the company. John Antioco had led Blockbuster for a decade, overseeing its expansion during the height of its popularity. However, with the dawn of the digital age on the horizon, Icahn's strategy favored a more traditional approach. He installed Jim Keyes as the new CEO, hoping to bolster the company's physical presence. Unfortunately, this move would prove disastrous. Nico Celentano, a former shareholder, would later reflect on Keyes' leadership after Blockbuster filed for bankruptcy in 2010, saying Jim Keyes is the main reason Blockbuster is in this position today due to his denial of being in a business model that did not work anymore.
Blockbuster's bankruptcy auction is set for later today.
Celentano's sentiments echoed a growing discontent among shareholders and industry observers who recognized that Blockbuster failed to adapt to a rapidly evolving market. Keyes committed to brick-and-mortar stores when consumer preferences shifted toward convenience and technology. With the rise of streaming services like Netflix, which had created a more agile business model, Blockbuster's fate seemed increasingly sealed. Compounding this mismanagement was a crippling debt load. When Viacom acquired Blockbuster in 1994, it spun the company out in 2004. As part of this deal, Blockbuster was obligated to pay a hefty $5 per share dividend, which led the company to take out a staggering $905 million loan just to fulfill this requirement. By the time Blockbuster filed for bankruptcy in 2010, it was burdened with over $1 billion in debt. In the tumult of bankruptcy proceedings, Blockbuster's assets caught the attention of Dish Network, which acquired the beleaguered company for a mere $320 million. This sale contrasted with Blockbuster's financial peak when it generated $5.9 billion in revenues. The rapid decline symbolized how quickly fortunes can shift in the business world. As Dish Network began to take stock of the dwindling Blockbuster brand, the company announced plans to close nearly all remaining Blockbuster stores in the U.S. by 2013. At this point, the number of locations had dwindled to about 300, a far cry from the thousands that once dotted the American landscape. This marked the end of an era that had captivated movie lovers and families for years. Reflecting on the downfall of Blockbuster, Carl Icahn later stated, "Blockbuster turned out to be the worst investment I ever made. It failed because of too much debt and changes in the industry." His assessment encapsulated the reality of Blockbuster's struggles: an overabundance of stores, a failure to pivot with changing consumer habits, and a crippling debt that overshadowed any potential recovery. The rise of Netflix and the emergence of convenient red box kiosks represented a paradigm shift in how people consumed entertainment, making the once cherished video rental store obsolete. Blockbuster's fall reminds us that even the mightiest can fall if they fail to embrace innovation and heed the signs of a shifting landscape. But what lasting legacy did this retail giant create? From its humble beginnings in 1985, Blockbuster transformed how people experience movies, becoming a beloved fixture in neighborhoods nationwide.
Blockbuster's Super Bowl ad has been viewed more than 300,000 times since its Super Bowl Sunday Instagram post.
With its bright blue and yellow signage, the store promised not just a film, but an experience, a weekly ritual of browsing aisles, reading box covers, and discovering cinematic gems. The magic of movie nights, enhanced by the thrill of renting physical tapes, created cherished memories that still linger in the hearts of those who grew up in its embrace. However, as technology advanced and digital streaming platforms surged, Blockbuster's inability to adapt to the changing entertainment landscape led to its downfall, leaving its once bustling stores as relics of the past. Despite its eventual demise, Blockbuster left an indelible mark on popular culture. Nostalgia for the brand persists as evidenced by the numerous documentaries, social media tributes, and articles celebrating the once ubiquitous video rental store. For many, Blockbuster symbolizes a simpler time, where choosing a movie was an adventure and families gathered to share stories and laughter. Within this context, the last remaining Blockbuster in Bend, Oregon is a beacon of that cherished era. Officially known as the last Blockbuster, this store became the sole survivor of a brand that once boasted thousands of locations. In 2018, it became the last Blockbuster store in the United States, and by 2020, it proudly held the title of the world's last remaining retail outlet using the Blockbuster brand. The store not only preserves the essence of the Blockbuster experience, but also has become a pilgrimage site for those wishing to relive their childhood memories. Its vibrant aisles still house a collection of films that offer nostalgic escape from the digital world. The significance of this final Blockbuster extends beyond its inventory. Here, customers can now skip the traditional video rental experience altogether. Instead, they have the unique opportunity to rent the entire store for a night through Airbnb. It's a testament to its lasting impact. The store was featured in the animated series Family Guy, with the episode Bend or Blockbuster paying homage to its legacy. Furthermore, the Netflix sitcom Blockbuster 2022, starring Randall Park and Melissa Fumero, brings the story of the last remaining Blockbuster to life, showcasing the quirky charm and nostalgia that the brand evokes. In 2023, the last Blockbuster demonstrated its creative spirit with a commercial airing during the Super Bowl halftime show. The ad cleverly juxtaposed the store's enduring presence against the backdrop of a seemingly desolate world, featuring a lone cockroach navigating a post-apocalyptic landscape before arriving at the last Blockbuster. Following the commercial's release, the store experienced a surge in sales, proving that the allure of Blockbuster still resonates with audiences today. The Bend location is not just a retail store, it's a shrine to cinematic history. It displays a collection of film memorabilia formerly belonging to actor Russell Crowe, including his iconic hood from the 2010 Robin Hood and the robe and shorts from the 2005 movie Cinderella Man. These items, originally donated to the store by the last operating Alaskan Blockbuster after its closure, add a unique touch to the store's atmosphere, further connecting visitors to the magic of the films they once adored. In many ways, the story of Blockbuster is one of both triumph and tragedy. It highlights the delicate balance that brands must maintain in an ever-evolving landscape. As technology advances, the lesson is clear: adapt or face obsolescence.